The video for March 15th, 2017 is entitled Questions from Longtime Friend. A longtime Native American friend commented on my previous video, quote, "What did you do today to help Creator in manifesting his heaven on earth? What positive, meaningful impact did you have on another so they could see this heaven come to pass?" End quote. As a matter of fact, I helped a friend who has no automobile obtain a refrigerator and washing machine needed in her home. We rented a truck to transport them to her home. I also took my oldest granddaughter to school and picked the two younger ones up from school to help my daughter. This is something I do every school day, even though with my move, it's several miles further than it was when I was staying with my son. In the past, I have also contributed to homeless people living on the street. I've long been an activist in speaking out and trying to wake people up. I even served as Secretary of State in the Florida Republic until the fake government arrested the Republic president. Indeed, I have been an activist. Now, I admit that especially since my health challenges occurred a couple years ago now, I've not been as active as I was prior to that. Although even prior to that, I was spending a lot of time making videos and communicating with people all over the world. I, as I said, have been an activist. I continue to do my best to put forth information that will, in my hope, wake people up. I'd like people to become aware of the things that are going on in our world and of the promises of the kingdom of heaven on earth, which is based on truth and justice for all, not some scheme by some very malevolent beings who want to make a world that doesn't work for anyone except themselves. And they take advantage of everyone, the majority, to try to bolster their own power, their own ego, their own whatever it is, and they live off of the energy of others without actually being able to produce anything of themselves. Most politicians, in fact, are absolutely useless individuals whose only function is to fulfill the will of this demonic regime that has been established on earth to, some would say maybe to wake people up, but it really doesn't, because they do everything in their power to keep people asleep, to brainwash the masses, and to keep us in ignorance of the truth that would, in fact, liberate us, that would, in fact, put us on a route that would take us to a better place. And I don't mean by a better place being somewhere else. I mean making this place a better place, making heaven on earth, creating higher dimensional consciousness here on this planet. Someone pointed out that my last video had 3 Ds in it, and it was talking about, three-dimensional reality. He said it pertains to three-dimensional reality, and we're moving into 5-dimensional reality. I hope that's true. Is it true? I don't know. I don't know. This is the point. There's so much information and disinformation, as I've said probably in quite a few videos recently, that it's hard to determine what truth is, because I've read some of the things that I don't want to believe, and they're often well written, and in many cases fairly well thought out. They have something that they're presenting that resonates or makes sense with a part of my consciousness, though I don't want to believe it, because if I believed that, I would feel that my life had been wasted and, again, lived in vain. And I don't want that to be. I don't think anybody should live their life in vain. I'd like our ability to manifest a good reality to become our actual experience in three-dimensional reality, or on a physical plane on Earth, whatever many dimensions that might be, to actually manifest truth and justice for all that have a desire to be free and to allow others to be free too. That's the key, to allow others to be free. Everybody wants to be free, but not everybody wants to allow others the same right to freedom. And what I want is for everyone to be free, not to hurt others, but to discover for themselves what their talents, gifts, and abilities are, so that they can use them to benefit, first of all, themselves and their own family, but then the world around them, so that everyone gets blessed. If we all had that ability to actually manifest good things in our lives, we wouldn't have crime anymore. We wouldn't have a lot of the things that are the, quote, negatives that we have to deal with in a society, where the negatives are actually created by the leaders. Then this happens in our government agencies especially, but in our major corporations, in many of our religions, where everything is pitted against something else. And so that there's constant friction, constant battle, constant war. This is what has to change. And this is the guiding factor, if you will, of my life, all of my life. I've wanted this major change to occur that shifts our reality into something that will become a permanent blessing rather than a permanent curse. We've lived under the curse long enough. It's time to experience the reverse energy, an anti-adromia, that, as Carl Jung called it, the reverse flow of energy that brings in the opposite of what we've been experiencing all of our lives, generation after generation, going back millennia. It's time for a real change. And whatever it takes to bring that about, that's what I want to help contribute to. I don't want to be pessimistic. I don't want to be a naysayer. I want to be able to contribute to positive growth for humanity and for life itself. I'd like there to be a bridge between where money has been our slave master to where money becomes our blessing, if you will, to a place where we realize we don't even need money at all. A cashless, moneyless society. It's a bridge that we've got to cross to get there. I don't believe that there can be a leap from where we've been to that position, not without major cataclysm that wipes out the majority of the people on Earth. And that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the majority of the people on Earth to be rescued from the tyranny of the corrupt cabal and of the demonic element, and actually put on a path where we can be fulfilled as human beings. Is there something wrong with that? I don't think so. So my friend says, what positive, meaningful impact did you have on another? Well, I do my best to help others, but I don't have the resources. I don't have the physical stamina that I once had to be able to do what I once was able to do. I still find myself short of breath at times, especially when I was working with my friend even yesterday. Very short of breath, have to sit down and catch my breath. I was doing better when I was exercising every day. I'm not doing that anymore, but it was actually reversing that. In any case, I do the best I can. That's all anybody can ask of me. That's all I ask of anybody else, to do the best we can to help bring about the changes that will impact our world for the good, for the blessings that everyone can experience for themselves. Anyway, I appreciate you listening as always, and thank you very much, and namaste.